of the picture just now. Beijing the game. Let's go. Controls. Simple enough. Maybe we should
Hi
pause
there.
the music.
Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide.
You're welcome.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells
Haven't
a
played
pretty
it.
absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda.
I'm an idiot.
Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment.
Oh,
But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters
like Dust
these
2.
colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator.
I should
It's like
keep
a
eating.
reminder that this video
I
game
don't have
was
anything else to
constructed
eat.
by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder.
Wait. I'm gonna fix one thing first. Closed captions. Yes, I'm gonna enable that. Hold on. I can't come up with a witty title, so I'm just gonna go. I can't come up with a witty title, so let's just go with that. Video. Where do I find the audio? Closed captioning. There we go.
What was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after
All
the
of the
other
above,
without
yes.
even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Yes, that updated here. There was something I was gonna do. Oh yeah, mouse sensitivity. That seems better. Whoa! It's a bit too low even. It's too low, that's not often I get the chance to say that of a game.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Okay. Oh, we can shoot. I can't go there. There. Oh, I ran out of ammo. Shit. Oh, this is spoopy. Ah!
Security hull breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't have any ammo. No
It kind
hostiles.
of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development.
Yeah.
For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shield evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Wow. Other than that, it looks great. You can see the top of it as well. Like the line that breaks there. Oh. No guns allowed. Yeah. Like I can't use my gun in the game, so you can't use yours.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
No, I wanted to go through the maze.
Or, if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
Yeah. I guess this is where we, yeah, this is where we started from. Might as well get rid of that sword call I had. Don't take my foam sword away. I won't foam, fam. Right, so I know the way is, like, supposed to be here. That's not fun, though. You should have not put me there in the first place. Oh. That's no fun.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off,
Can I foam at least?
and then
No.
you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
Oh, we're gonna sack
It's
ourselves.
so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it?
Who asked that straightforwardly? No one is gonna, like, hey, you in the engine room, can you sacrifice yourself? You don't mean anything to any one of us. So just go in there and do it. It's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, there best be no guns, sir. Alright, have a good dinner.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
So he's... What?
The beam causes you to start floating.
Whee!
And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
The past was behind her. Oh.
Yep. In this game,
Oh
you
my
can walk
God.
backwards.
That's interesting. But the
So it's a
future-
short and relatively minimalist experiment combining
Is that
motion
all?
and narrative.
No. Why does the
It is less
future-
advanced than the previous game, but actually it
changing.
seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. It is pretty weird. Like, you can't even strafe anything. But the future is always behind her. How will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me
It's pretty
is
interesting.
why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
How many of these are there? Oh, we can walk forward now. Oh, it's this Slender Man. You are now entering. What are we entering?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Right. Bye, TJ. Enjoy dinner as well.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that
Is
he was
this
making these
World
early
Trade
games.
Center?
He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that
We're
at all,
entering the
but
pussy.
what are you gonna do?
The pussy.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
What? You are a gate. Press U to surrender.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little
Eating in
ideas
the
for
room today.
games.
Nice. What are you eating? What are you having?
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
A key in one game unlocks a door in a completely separate game. This is so rad. I am a gate. Yes. That's what it said. Pogchamp. Except they're not stuvade, so...
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh, that was super hard. Oh no. Thought it would open the door if I shut it.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Whee!
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
Yeah.
All right, Now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa. That's a lot of other stuff.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
I don't know. Oh, we're back. We're now entering the pussy.
Aha. So this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game.
We can't walk further than this.
There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them.
Can it get any better?
And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
The great and lovely descent. This looks nice. It looks like I'm in heaven. Or in some kind of limbo.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Is ICDB even here? Like, he's the one who's requested me to play this, but he hasn't said anything in chat.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear
you could have ice cream.
That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
He's miming with
the tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Boxy corridors. Let's go to the handicap stone. That's a very boxy toilet as well. And sink. Oh, hello basement. What is this? Wee. Wee. Totally what I meant. What did you mean then? What do you mean? Whoa! Whoa! Oh, this is trippy. Look at these landings though. Oh, you could have two cats there. Wow! Okay. Shortcut. This is fucking trippy. It's spoopy. Spoopy as hell. You know what? This is so... But somehow this reminds me of... What? What? Somehow this reminds me of Penumbra. The video game. Oh. No!
This
No!
prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the door stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Nah.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it.
could have a bad
And
friend
I
in
would
there,
always
so-
defend that,
That's true.
all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went
Someday.
home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played
Should I play
every
Penumbra
single
after
one of
this?
those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Who needs friends? Everyone needs at least one friend, in my opinion. Like, you don't have to have many friends, but you can have one really, really good friend. It's kinda, yeah. Kinda like me. Like, I don't hang out with a lot of people, except for like 2 or 3, and then I really
It's the
enjoy
puzzle again,
playing
with
them.
the exact
Yeah.
same solution as the
I
last
really
time.
enjoy talking with them. Okay.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll
This
share
was
with
a
you my
long one.
interpretation very shortly.
But then your dog is your friend. It's man's best friend for a reason, right? No, I don't want to listen.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. I prefer not to tell you. After all, we only just met. Maybe I should move the chat. Because it's covering the dialogue. Hold on. Hold the door. There we go. We are trapped here. That puzzle is our only escape. We need to get through. You think you might want to get through, but trust me, you don't. I'm gonna stall as much as I can. Nice fireplace. Wait, no, 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 no. You can see it again soon. What the fuck? This is so trippy.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Can you please lower the music? Or is it too loud? There's no individual settings for the music. Are you kidding me? We can only lower the master volume. I'll lower it a bit. That's so dumb. I hear no difference, to be honest. Whoa.
it's a lamppost.
No.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this.
K.
What the fuck? K? K? Filthy lurker. Thank you so much. K? What the fuck? K? Oh, I know who you are. K indeed.
Lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of
Thank you
every
so much
single
for
one
the
of his
5
games
euros.
from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract
Okay.
games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something.
It's a pretty interesting
He wants a
game.
destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
So, okay. That was a long one. Or longer than the other ones. Nice room. Not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient.
Kappa Pride.
And I cooled off eventually.
Oh my god. What is this place? Exactly. That describes... I cannot hear you. That describes my... Like, this describes my reaction. Blip. Oh my god, it goes down as well. Hello.
Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness.
Everyone read this!
I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard
This place makes
voices
me
in a
sad.
game that wasn't meant to be
not
played.
really.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing.
Yes, this.
I could just get to know you through your work. I think
this
this is why
horror?
I always liked Coda's games so
Not
much.
really. Read them
Just
all?
because it felt like they let me
I was
have that
considering doing
connection.
it, but I don't know if
I
you have
felt
time
as
for it.
though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less
Cool
lonely,
cabin,
too.
bro. In a world full of notes, one man will read them all. This summer, you will believe blue speech bubbles can talk. Do you feel like a hero yet? I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it was the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never... Oh my god, that's a long one. And I want to see if nothing will ever be that beautiful. I'm crying now and plan on ripping my eyes. Oh my god. That was a downer. Do not be afraid, do care. There's so many notes. How is there wooden grass and concrete here? What the fuck? Balls. Balls. Is there a titties one as well? I hope so. Once upon a time I did define fun. I'm the king of the world! Shut is broke. Did I read this one? Oh yeah, I did. Should I really read all of them? There's like over hundreds and hundreds of notes here, probably. Oh, you can see which ones you've read. Okay. That makes it a bit easier. What the shit is this cavern? Boring. Yeah, but I mean, should I? Like, I find them somewhat interesting. He said that it wouldn't affect the outcome of the rest of the game, but I can assure you, the guarantee that there's an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the same as they're looking for it. Hey guys, just looking for someone to talk with. Alright. Not me. I refuse to believe. But as but. Recognize me, please. Twitch chat, recognize this blob. A free t-shirt. Oh, what? There's more. Okay, we're not reading all of them. We're not reading all of them. Someday I will meet the person who made us. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. Amen, brother. New room! Yeah, we're not reading all of them. How's the game? It's alright. I enjoyed it so far. I think this is not going anywhere. Can you jump off? I'm not safe. No, we can't jump off. Ethical. Today I learned you cannot fall off. Is it mind fucking? Yeah. I saw a person walking down there. No, it won't come back. No! Come back! Come back! Come back! Devil Tower Star. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't think we have time to read all of these. Maybe I'll replay this sometime.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Ooh, lava.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution. He understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Oh my god, the whispers now. That's fucking eerie as shit. Help. Help.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Lava lamps are red. I thought I was chased. Fucking hell, it's typewriters. Bling! What the fuck? This is so trippy. I am speaking. I had a lava lamp.
Okay, this one is
I
tough.
had a lava lamp.
It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
They're soothing as hell to look at. I should get one. They're not that expensive. Okay. Like you can spend hours looking at them just.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
What furniture ought to go to the center of the room? How about a TV with surround sound, a refrigerator? Put a giant hole in the ground. Okay. Let's put up a huge picture of a horse. Ah! It's not doing what I wanted to. It would be on till I fell asleep, then Mum would come in and turn it off. Aww. I think we should light up this room. A skylight, full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. LED. Let's go with the LEDs. Not that like nothing I say have any. We have a table. I'm pretty sure none of my choices make any difference. Tables were invented in 1935. Whoa!
There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
It's fucking trippy as shit, this game. Holy shit.
So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Click on this table. Touch the shelves. Oh. $1935. Even too long for you.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well.
Oh,
A version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
this is so
Let me just
fucking
walk you real
trippy.
quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
She's shorter than that. I'm like hugging the wall here. Wish I could go somewhere else, but... What? This is creepy as fuck. 1.5 meters. I'm you from after you escaped the prison.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
You little manlets. Well, you maybe not. You haven't probably not stopped growing. You might actually pass me. 185 master race. Actually, I'm already forgetting what being in prison was like. It's strange, but in a way, I kind of miss being in the prison. I don't want to like. None of these answers are good. You're not a dverg. You're barely over the line. Just put on heels, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. That makes me feel really happy. Still me, but I'm not somehow. It's hard to describe. Let's go with that. Have you ever worn heels? No. I have not. Maybe, when I was a kid, I don't know.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on
Yeah, I
either
like the game.
side
Thank you,
and a dark
ICDB. Thank you for the game,
transitional
and
space
thank you for stopping by. See ya some other time. No! I'm glad as heck that you showed up. That's some messy plates. Though I might be having to clean this entire house.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
This game is doing my head in, and I kind of like it. Ah! I like it too. It's different from anything I've ever played. Can you please run to the bedroom and make the bed? No, that's not the bedroom. Wow, this is a really nice house. All the little details matter. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How do you end up doing this job? It's been a long time. Oh yeah, I need to move that. I need to move myself. Hi, now you can see all this shit that goes down. How did you end up doing this job? We're just straighten the pillows on the sofa out there. Anything for you, fam? This looks nice. I can't sit down. Maybe mop up that as long as you're over there. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. No, talk to me. He's making me do all the work now.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
House cleaning is so difficult, how do you do it? Do these chores ever end? Darling, let me tell you something. Darling, let me tell you something. Whatever work you do, you absolutely got to own it. Otherwise it owns you.
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked
Shores.
around with a constant smile on his face.
No, this game is I can't put it into words, but I like it. What, this got messy again? I was going to say it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. That's deep, bro. This is so deep. Hashtag fucking deep. Sex inbound. I can't believe I just did that. I get that it's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Not that kind of deep. Books! Oh my god, it's not over yet. We still need to clean up all the shit again. Is the bed gonna be unmade?
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Question.
But,
Do you enjoy
of
this?
course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone,
Aww.
it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well.
Ooh.
Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Should we try it? Yeah, it's a good game. They lied. Well, maybe if I go into this dark corner over here. Maybe I die now. Well, guess not. They lied. Someone's listening to Dunka Dunka. It's fucking up my stream experience. Damn you, Dunka Dunka neighbors. Or family members. The light post.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it. This one gets a bit goofy.
No. I came here to become perfect. Aren't I already? Neighbors. Ugh. Wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Oh. No, it's not.
About halfway
Fuck
through
off.
the game, the perspective shifts. And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Ooh. No, I can't, you liar. And someone you don't know make a game with your thoughts. For fuck's sake, this is so weird. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path? Can I even click the other ones? I can, okay. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Ha, just kidding. Is that wind or scream? I think it screams.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
Oh.
I think about this game a lot these days.
Stage. Oh, is this... Are we rock stars?
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Oh no, we're not rock stars. We are opera singers! Figaro, 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 Figaro! In this scene, you'll be playing as me. We're cooksters. Whoa. Hello, Jasmine. How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing on this Friday? Start out leaning against the wall. Okay. The woman across the room in his chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Say something to her. Sorry, I have to leave. Where's the bathroom? Stop dancing around and have a conversation with this person. Do it again. Okay. I like you. I'm good. Taking a break from George for a day. Why? What did he do? What? I'm doing good as well. Now talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. What? Try stepping back from the stage. This was in the trailer, yeah. It was. Oh! Lamppost. What? 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 What did I do wrong? Nothing, lol. Just needed a break. Could never get enough George. Whoa! What did I do wrong?
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself.
I'm sorry.
To be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of
this is fucking spooky as shit.
And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Try to play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game, okay? What the fuck? Is anything supposed to happen?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
What's going on? Are we going to crash? Oh shit! No! No! I'm legit gonna cry. Oh. I'll tell you when I play Guitar Hero later. If you wanna leave. I'd understand. Alright. Now we know how to do what to do. I can't keep making these.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, You know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the
If I do
point in
cry,
my
I won't be
relationship
alone.
with Coda
Oh.
where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Going to a friend's birthday party. Alright. Bye, TJ. Is Sockan there with you? I don't feel it anymore. Keep going. Keep talking. We're going to be okay. Yes, I'm here with you. Till the end.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
It's an interesting fucking game. Hello, where am I? What is this? Whoa. Whoa! Is that a person? Where? Where's the person? Oh. They're talking to us. You look lost. Bible thump. You have to take me on to it. Okay.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had
This is
no
too fucking
outlet
real.
to ground himself on.
Almost crying.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
And someone is crying in the game. Like, come on, don't do this to me. No, no gun. I could ban the gun emote, but then the only people who use it are my mods, so they could bypass it. I'm holding you. I'm holding you as tight as I ever could. This is fucking me over on the next level, this game.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
It is hitting right in the feels. Holy shit. Please, where's the machine? Should I watch this in full screen?
I don't know. This is what I felt. I don't know how else.
I actually have to fucking make an effort not cry on stream.
I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Stop. All the fucking hugs. This is so just... This is making me so fucking sad. It's ridiculous. No, don't cry.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
This Coda guy is pretty talented, I must say. Hopefully this is less... Hopefully this is less saddening. I have a feeling he's talking about himself or like not an actual human or something. Fuck this, I'm gonna ignore all of you.
And of course, it's the machine.
Machine sounds like a... Apologize for leaving me. Whoa.
Remember, you can click to fire the gun.
No guns.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive.
I can't really...
And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back
I'm
into
shooting
his
to
work?
distract myself from actually paying attention to the conversation. Because this game is fucking me over.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they
Oh, you
genuinely
go faster
loved
if
his
you're
work.
shooting.
There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Fuck you, machine. Fuck you. What weapon?
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could
This is too
fix
fucking
the
real for me.
problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this
Don't
is
fucking tell
June
me he
of
died.
2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one
Thought
day
it
I
said
get
several
an email,
years.
and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever
Don't
made.
tell me he fucking died.
So let's take a look. And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
I'd say. Yeah, fucking hold me. Prepare the hugs. Fuck's sake. This is more mind-fucking for me than Life is Strange, and that was pretty fucking mind-fucking. Pretty fucking mind-fucking.
This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze. And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
1516, so 15, 16, 17. Okay. This game is fucking hitting right in the feels. No, I'm not joking.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first
You missed, there was this one big room that had an invisible maze that every time you touched a wall in it, the screen flashed red. So and eventually he gave me a bridge across it. Then we came to another platform where you had to enter a 6-digit code, well, you didn't know what the code was for or what it was. And then he gave us the code as well, and yeah, that's where we left off.
And you
We
got to
dropped
this
down
point.
here.
There's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely. Just saying, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, so that was the down there is the invisible maze that we crossed, and there is the code that we entered into the 6-digit code thingy.
I remember, it's June of 2011.
This game seems lengthy.
I'm
It's not
playing this
really.
for
It's
the
like
very
90
first time.
90 minutes
And as I'm
to
playing, I'm thinking
2
to
hours.
myself,
It's
I don't know
fucking
this
full of
person.
fields though.
I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
This game is fucking breaking me.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt
Right in the
somehow
fucking
like
fields.
I had failed. Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself. And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
I'm fucking feeling it right now after reading that.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself. That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay. More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you. If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
I think you know damn well why. Nope. No, you're not. Well then, that was a game. A game and a half. Thank you so much, ICDB, for recommending this game. Even though it was fucking mentally exhausting playing it. It was worth playing, I feel. Hope you guys feel the same. But yeah, that was probably the most invested I've ever gotten into a video game. Probably the most invested in, like, I don't know what to say, but holy shit, the feels. I should YouTube this whole thing, to be honest. But yeah, that was that. I'm not sure if I'll take, like, I need 10 minutes to, like, take a fucking break or something. I just need some alone time. But yeah, we'll definitely play something more in a bit. But I'll see you in a bit.